Welcome back for another story time with Gigi. Today we're going to continue reading from the Christopher Churchmouse Treasury by Barbara Duvall. And we have a brand new story for you to listen to, and it's called A Flood of Friends. God tells us in His Word, the Bible, that a man that wants to have friends must himself be friendly. God told us that in Proverbs 18 and verse 24. So, what do you think Christopher is going to learn today about being a friend and how to have friends? Well, let's find out. Are you ready to listen? Here we go. Something was tickling Christopher's whiskers as he lay in bed. "Quit!" he squeaked in his sleep. "Oh, don't tickle me!" Then he opened one eye and giggled. It was just the wind tickling him. He breathed in. Oh, what a wonderful smell! It must be lilacs. He had just been dreaming of another beautiful spring morning about this time last year, when something very special had happened. And this is what it was. It was the nicest spring morning yet. Christopher jumped out of bed and brushed his whiskers and gave his tail a tweak to get the kinks out of it. He looked out the window. Oh, he couldn't wait to play. But Ted, and Ned, his cousins, they were all away on vacation, and his friend Mandy had to work. As Christopher sadly buttoned the straps on his overalls, he heard Mama Churchmouse. "Come on, Christopher. Breakfast is ready." Christopher and his mother always had breakfast together, since Papa had to go to work very early. "Mama," Christopher sat down glumly, "I wish I had someone to play with," as he picked up a piece of his fruit. "Well, I wish I could play with you, dear, but I must go shopping this morning. Mandy's mother is going to take care of your baby sister." "I wish I had a friend who could always play." "Well, that would be nice, Christopher, but sometimes, it's nice to play all alone." "Oh, but Mama, I do want someone else to play with today. Where could I find a friend?" Mama leaned back in her chair. "Well, I don't know exactly where you can find a friend, but I do know how you could find one." "You do? How?" Christopher asked eagerly. "The Bible says a man who has friends must himself be friendly." Why, I'm friendly." "I think God is talking about being a friend, Christopher." "Hmm. You mean like being kind and sharing with someone?" "Yes." Christopher frowned. "But there's not anyone around for me to be a friend to, Mama." "Well, the day isn't over yet, Christopher." After breakfast, Christopher put on his sweater and went outside. It was such a beautiful day, a day you could do just about anything. Why, it would be a perfect day to go roller skating, but that wasn't fun all by yourself. Maybe he could just go play some ball. But how can you play ball all by yourself? Christopher thought gloomily. He scuffed his toes in the dirt. What good was a nice day if you were all alone? He sat down on the steps of the church in a pout. "Good morning," said a little voice from somewhere. Christopher looked up in surprise. Another little mouse was standing in front of him. Why, hello! Who are you?" said Christopher. "My name is Freddie Field Mouse. What's yours?" "Well, I'm Christopher Churchmouse. I live here in the church." He looked critically at the strange little mouse. He was very plain looking. His clothes were shabby. He was dusty all over, and in his paw he carried an old beat-up suitcase with stuff hanging out of it on all the sides. "Where are you going?" "Oh, I don't know," Freddie said quietly. "You don't know?" squeaked Christopher. "Well, how come?" "Well," said Freddie, "it's a long story, but to make it short, I'm looking for a new home. You see, I'm a field mouse from the country, but my home was washed away by the spring floods. I need a nice, dry home. You don't know of any around here, do you?" Christopher looked Freddie over again. "Nope," he answered. "Not here. You see, we're all church mice. We live in the church." "Oh, I see," said Freddie in a disappointed voice. "Maybe I can find something on down the road. It was nice to meet you, Mr. Churchmouse." Christopher watched the little mouse trudge down the road lugging the suitcase. He just wouldn't fit in with any of us, Christopher thought. Now, when he could barely see Freddie all the way down the road, suddenly Christopher jumped up to his feet and ran down the road. "Freddie! Freddie Field Mouse! Wait! Wait!" Freddie stopped in the middle of the road. "Freddie," Christopher panted, "I'm sorry. There is room in the church. Come on." He grabbed Freddie's suitcase. "Let's hurry." But Freddie wouldn't let go of his suitcase. "Well, what's the matter? I said you could come live at the church." But wait," sputtered Freddie. You don't understand. I didn't tell you. I mean, I'm not alone." "You aren't?" questioned Christopher, looking around curiously to see who was with him. "No, I'm not. Well, at least I won't be. Well, my family, they sent me ahead to look for homes for all of us field mice, and because all of our homes were destroyed." "Oh," said Christopher in an understanding way. "Well, we probably have enough room for all of you. How many are there?" "Well, with my Aunt Frida and her 10 children, there would be, let's see, 18, I guess," Freddie said quietly. "I'm sure you don't have that much room, so I'll just be going along." Christopher grabbed Freddie. "Let's go see my mama, Freddie. She'll know if we have enough room. Let's go ask her." "Oh, I don't know. I don't want to cause you any trouble." "Come on," Christopher interrupted. "I'm your friend, Freddie, and I'm going to help you. Let's go." And with that, he took Freddie's suitcase and tugged Freddie along. Just then they saw Mama carrying her market basket out on the road. "Mama, Mama," Christopher hurried toward her. "Mama, this is my new friend, Freddie Field Mouse." "Why, how nice!" exclaimed Mama. "And where are you from, Freddie?" "I'm from the country, ma'am." "Mama," said Christopher anxiously, "do we have any room in the church? What I mean is Freddie's home and his whole family, well, they were destroyed by the spring floods. Freddie's family has sent him ahead to look for homes for all of them. Do we have some room, Mama? I think we do, don't we?" "Well, I'm sure we do, Christopher," answered Mama. "We have that old storeroom that we could turn into some apartments very easily." "Where is your family now, Freddie?" "They're coming along slowly with all of the children and the mice babies. They can't travel very fast." "Well, we must get busy then," said Mama. "Do you think they'll be here by lunchtime?" "Oh, I expect so, but you certainly don't have to." Christopher, I must go back to the store. You take Freddie home and begin cleaning up that storehouse. I'll be right back and stir up some of my good crumb stew." And with a flounce of her skirt, Mama bustled down the road. The 2 mice boys worked very hard, sweeping and dusting the old storeroom and carting out all of the trash. By the time Mama was back, it was shiny and clean. Freddie went back down the road to tell his family and to bring them to their new home. Soon the delicious smell of crumb stew was filling the air when they arrived back at the Churchmouse door. "How can we ever thank you?" said Freddie's father as they were introduced. "Oh, think nothing of it," answered Mama. And soon all the little children and their mamas and papas were hungrily eating the crumb stew. Christopher and Freddie bustled about, helping to serve them. Freddie was so happy his eyes were shining. Christopher's face was beaming as he thought of how he now had a whole kitchen full of new friends. The next few days were very busy ones as the church mouse family helped the field mice get all settled into their new apartment. Then Aunt Snooty and her family arrived back from vacation. "Are they here?" asked Aunt Snooty, coming into the church mouse house. Mamma looked up. "Who? What are you talking about, Aunt Snooty?" "Those pesky field mice," answered Aunt Snooty. "Oh, no, they're in their own apartments. They're all settled in now." "Well, I never!" exclaimed Aunt Snooty, peering at Mamma through her glass eyepiece. "I can't imagine what has gotten into you, letting those field mice clutter up your storeroom with all their junk and eat all of your food." "Why, don't you think we should help a mouse family that's in need?" questioned Mamma in surprise. "Well, maybe a church mouse family, but certainly not field mice. They certainly aren't going to get free stuff from us." And with that, Aunt Snooty flounced out and slammed the door. How sad, thought Mamma. One night, sometime later, Papa Church Mouse suddenly woke up, knowing that something was very wrong. He sat up, sniffing, feeling danger all around him. He carefully put his feet down on the floor, and there was water all the way up to his ankles. "Mamma, Mamma, wake up. Take the baby. There's water all over the floor. You must go to a higher place right away. Chris and I will wake up the others." Christopher and Papa ran all over the church basement, waking the other church mice and the field mice. "We must all get up and onto the church steps right away. It looks like a water pipe has burst. The whole basement is flooding." The church was filled with mice squealing with terror. Christopher helped the grown-up mice swim with their mice babies to safety. They held the babies' heads high above the water and then handed them up to their mammas. Mamma Church Mouse was counting all of the mice on the church steps. "Papa," she said, "I don't see Grandpa and Grandma Church Mouse, and Uncle Rudy and Aunt Snooty's family. They're missing too." Suddenly Christopher realized that Freddie Field Mouse and his family were not there either. They had been right behind them just an hour ago, but now they were gone, and the water was getting deeper. "Freddie!" wailed Christopher. "Freddie, where are you?" But he didn't hear an answer, and Christopher began to cry. Just then there was a little sound coming from the water. It was the sound of the baby mice crying. Peering around the corner of the stairs, he saw Freddie and his family. Each field mouse had a baby church mouse in his paws, holding them high above the water. And there were Uncle Rudy and Aunt Snooty and their children too, Ced, Ted, and Ned, swimming in the water. And floating on some small pieces of wood, oh, there were Grandpa and Grandma Church Mouse. "Papa, look! The field mice! The field mice have saved the rest of our family!" squealed Christopher excitedly. The mice reached the steps, and when they did, Aunt Snooty was crying. "But you're rescued, Aunt Snooty," said Christopher. Aunt Snooty turned around to Freddie's family. "Oh," she said, "please forgive me for the awful things I've said about you. I've been just terribly, Snooty." And after that, all of the mice began to laugh and hug each other. And the field mice never returned to their houses in the country, but they remained in the church where they had found true friendship.